here's the thing, in today's video, in the continuation of the Baja series, I want to tell you guys what I did to prepare to get down to this point so that you can enjoy this beautiful area.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my next video. In today's video, we have a real treat. One of my oldest and best friends in the nomad life is going to present today, my friend Brian, and I think you're going to really enjoy the video. Now, I know from past videos that a lot of you are out there wondering, oh, what's going on, Bob? Are you quitting? Are you sick? Are you dying? And my answer to that is no such luck on your part. I am like a toe fungus. You cannot get rid of me that easily. I'm here for the long haul. Until I draw my last breath, and with a little luck, I'll have my cell phone out, watching my last breath, taking a video, hoping I can finally go viral. Everyone will see Bob dying. There'll either be celebration in the streets or howling in the streets. We'll see how it turns out. At any rate, I am not going anywhere. However, I'm older. I'm tireder, not the best English, but very accurate, and I would like to do less. And so my goal is to do less and less on the channel. And so I have been thinking about how to do that for years, actually, now. Another question you're probably going to have is why Brian? Well, literally, Brian is one of my oldest and best friends in the nomadic life. I've known Brian for 11 years now. It's still early on, and I think it's going so well that in the long run, Brian will be taking over as co-partner with me in the channel, and you'll see more and more of him. Again, I'm never leaving. He's going to be a part, but I will be a part too. But I know Brian's heart, and Brian's heart is to love and care about people. That will always be the primary thrust of this channel. How can I help the nomad community? How can I help the individual who's suffering and needs hope? This channel is about offering hope. So I think the channel will change. It will be different, but its heart of caring and compassion will always be there. And let me tell you why I'm convinced that's true. When we started Homes on Wheels Alliance 3 years ago, we needed board members. So when I thought about who would be on the board of trustees, Brian was the very first person I thought of. And he is now still on the board. He is the treasurer of the board. He contributes his whole life and heart and soul to helping others through how the heart and soul of CheapRVLiving will not change. Brian's heart is to care and help people, to give hope, to give a way forward. That will never change on CheapRVLiving. In fact, I believe it will be enhanced by Brian being a part. I hope you will welcome him in and see that this is a step forward and not in any way, shape, or form a step backwards or even a step sideways. This is an improvement. We'll find out together. So let's watch the video.
Hey guys, guess where I'm at? Baja. That's right, this beautiful scenery behind me is Baja. It is so gorgeous down here. Now that I'm already down here, you may be asking, well, how did you get to that point? Well, here's the thing, in today's video, in the continuation of the Baja series, I want to tell you guys what I did to prepare to get down to this point so that you can enjoy this beautiful area. Because I would absolutely love to see you guys down here next year, and I'm just really hoping that I'll make it a little bit easier for you guys and help you along the way. Before we get into the how I prepared to get down here, let me tell you a couple of the reasons why people do come down here each and every winter. So there are so many things to do. So maybe your thing is you love snorkeling and checking out the marine life. Or perhaps you want to stay on top of the water in a kayak or paddleboard. Or maybe you love the culture of Mexico and you want to check out what the history is through the ages and all the different missions and so forth. Or maybe you just want to sit in a hammock all day and read a book. All these things are really great options. There's swimming, hiking, surfing, whale watching. There's so many things that you guys can do down here. So those are the reasons why I come down to Baja. But now let me tell you guys about how I prepared to come down here. Because again, I want to make this easier for you guys to make it down here in as little effort as possible. And also you can do it quite affordably too. Let's get right into it. So a couple of things you want to do before you hit the road in the preparation parts of the journey. First thing you want to do is you want to look into getting an FMM. It's essentially the tourist visa that is offered through the Mexican government. If you are going to be here more than, I believe, 3 days, you're going to want to get one of these tourist visas. To do so is pretty easy. Now, years past, I used to go across the border, go to the immigration office, you fill out this paperwork, then you have to walk over to a bank, pay for it there, and then walk back with that receipt to get your immigration papers stamped. But honestly, doing it online is so much easier. All you have to do is you go online to bajabound.com and you fill out the form right there on the computer, and it puts you to another site where you pay for, I believe it's around $30 to get your tourist visa. And you pay for it, and then you print it out, and then when you go down to the border, you can just present it to the immigration office, they'll stamp it, and you'll be on your way. I also know several people that have crossed over in Algodones on foot, get it stamped there, so then they don't have to worry about finding a place for their RV to park, because a lot of times the border crossings can be a little tight in the parking. So just kind of keep that in mind. The next thing you want to look for is car insurance. You may want to look at the car insurance from the company you have in the United States. If that is the case, they will not cover you for liability down here, but they might cover you for collision, comprehensive, things like that. The other thing that you have to do is you do need to get liability insurance down here in Mexico from a Mexican insurance company. So it's very, very simple. Again, you do it all online. You can just do a Google search for Mexican car insurance. I've always gone through Lewis & Lewis. I've never actually had a claim with them, so I don't know how good their customer service is, but I do know that they make it seamless. So you put in all of your information, and then you pay the amount, and then you just print it right there, and so you have a physical copy of it. Now again, a lot of these things, you are gonna want a physical copy of it for your travels. Don't rely on keeping it on your phone, just in case something happens to your phone. You want a physical paper copy of it. Now, an additional thing you can look into is you could get travel or medical insurance while you're down here. I've never done it, but that is an option. You could look into that. So do your due diligence. If you think it's worth it, go for it. Typically speaking, the health insurance, or if you go to the doctor down here, is going to be significantly cheaper than in the United States. So keep that in mind, that it may not be worth it, but for things like being airlifted out, for serious injuries, you may want to look into that. Now, sometimes your car insurance might actually cover you for that, so you just want to double check and look at the fine print, just see what it involves. Okay, so the next thing you can do before you leave the border, across the border, is you want to call your cell phone carrier to see what kind of service you have down here. Most of them have agreements with the Telcel company down here, but AT&T, you can use, I think, all of your data while you're down here. I have the the prepaid plan, and it works great down here. I can use all the data I want. Typically, you are network managed. So keep that in mind. You may not be the fastest service, but you do have service. Verizon, you only get half a gig each day. So keep that in mind, because that's not going to allow you to stream or do anything like that. So if you are a heavy user, you may want to look for alternatives. Many people are getting a Telcel plan directly once they get down here. You get the Telcel plan, put it in your unlocked phone, and then it makes it very, very easy to then buy additional packets. There's one packet where you buy 2-hour increments. They're unlimited data for 2 hours, and it's about 75 cents. So you're talking really cheap. The next thing you want to do is you want to download all of your maps, Google Maps, any other kind of topo maps that you might want, because again, you're going to go through big swaths of areas down here where you may not have cell service. So be prepared for that and download those offline maps. Along the same vein, again, you won't have service in quite a few places. So if you want to watch movies at night, I like to watch movies at night, you better download those ahead of time so that you will have those, again, offline on your phone, on your computer, something like that. Don't expect to stream down here. It's very, very difficult. The other thing I would do is download the IOverlander app. That thing has been amazing down here. It has, because you can use it offline, it's super critical. So you can look for campsites, you can look for propane, you can look for restaurants, you can look for pretty much anything you need on the IOverlander app. So keep that in mind, download it, you will save yourself so much grief. Trust me on this. Another thing you want to do before heading down to Baja is you want to call your credit card company to make sure that they won't think that your card was stolen if you start using your credit card down here in Mexico. I called 2 of my credit card companies. One of them said, hey, cool, thanks, we'll put you on that list saying that you're traveling abroad. The other one said, actually, it's already in our system that they allow those kind of transactions, so they don't red flag it too much. Again, just call to make sure. The other thing to look out for is that some of the credit cards has a 3% foreign transaction fee if you use it down here. That's just 3% you're giving to them. Don't do that. Find a credit card that does not have those foreign transaction fees. There are tons of them out there. Also, using ATMs and stuff down here, you'll want to check with your bank to make sure that you can use it at foreign ATMs. Typically you can, so it's not usually a big deal. But again, call your bank just to make sure. It doesn't hurt to do that. Okay, and as I alluded to earlier, you are going to want physical copies of many of the documents you have. Don't leave it on your phone and think that that's good enough. So you want to have physical copies, paper copies of your car insurance, your Mexican car insurance, the tourist visa. You definitely have to have that printed out when you present it to the immigration office. So have a physical paper copy of that. I always also bring an extra copy of my passport, my driver's license, maybe my credit card numbers, along with the phone numbers that you can call from international places. That way, if they do become lost or stolen, I won't fret about it. I can just call them, let them know, hey, I lost my card, can you please cancel it? So again, if you have that on a piece of paper, makes it much easier. I usually have actually 2 copies of those things, and I put one in one location, one in another location, just in case. I love redundancies. So keep that in mind. It may end up working out really well for you. All right, some other things that you can do to prepare for Baja is if you have a walkie-talkie, a programmable radio, a ham radio, one of the handhelds, those are very nice to have down here. Because especially if you're caravanning with other people, it's really nice to just be able to chat with them about, hey, I'm getting tired, I want to stop, I need to take a restroom break, you know, normal stuff. But because we don't have cell service down here in a lot of locations, don't rely on just texting each other. So have the walkie-talkie and just be able to use it. The cool thing about that is that you can, while caravanning, is I'm in a little tiny car, I can go on ahead and let them know if there are any big semis coming up around corners, things like that. So that, or if I'm passing someone, I can let my friends behind me know, yes, the coast is clear, you are now able to pass. Walkie-talkies are so useful. Even if you don't come down here with people, more than likely you're gonna meet people down here, you might start caravanning with them. Again, just nice to have. Possibly we're just bringing the one, that's all I do. If you want, you can bring the set, then you can give it to a friend and they can have it as well, especially when you're going around. Like in the beaches that I'm at right now, we don't have service here. And so a lot of it is gonna be handheld radios. We can talk to each other. It's very, very easy. Okay, so another thing that I always like doing before I come down here is getting pesos, if you can. Sometimes you can go to a currency exchange in the United States, and then you pay a fee, but then you get pesos to kind of start off with. You exchange your US dollars for pesos. The other option is as soon as you cross the border, typically there is an exchange right there. May or may not be the best deal, but keep that in mind that that is also an option. I always like having pesos, even though credit cards are more widely accepted down here than they were previously. There are still plenty of locations that you will not be able to use your credit card. Beaches, certain gas stations, certain restaurants will be cash only. So I do the majority of my spending probably on pesos, and then when I find some place that takes credit card, I was like, yay, that's great. Credit cards will typically give you the best rate, the best exchange rate for that day, so that makes it really nice. And if you don't get that 3% foreign exchange fee, even better. So keep that in mind for those things. Now, when we're talking about food items to prepare to come down here, keep in mind that down here, the diet is a little bit different. So it's gonna be hard to find your granola. It's gonna be hard to find trail mix, granola bars, things like that. They're just not as widely around. So keep that in mind. If there are certain things that you like in the United States, go ahead and bring it down because you'll save yourself an effort going to look for it. Having said that, I do plenty of my shopping down here. You have a lot of avocados, tortillas, things like that. But if you have a restricted diet, keep that in mind and bring some of that stuff down. The other thing that's kind of weird down here, I actually love, is that their eggs are not refrigerated. So because of that, typically when you go get eggs, you might have to bring your own carton to grab them. I have one of those little camping ones you get at Army surplus stores or camping stores, something like that. It's just a little or yellow egg carton that's made out of plastic. That thing has been great. So you can go in there, I'll get half a dozen eggs. Since they don't need to be refrigerated and I don't have refrigeration down here, it works great. I wouldn't leave it out in the sun, just saying, but that is also an option. So keep that in mind. But any other food restrictions, you're gonna wanna just, again, bring those things down on your own because you may not find some of those things down here. Now, the final thing I will say about this is be aware of what events are going on down here in Baja while you're traveling down here. When we crossed the border, we were within days of the Baja 1000, which is a huge overlanding, basically think dune buggy running through the desert at 150 miles an hour. It's crazy. And there are thousands of people that come along for that. They are either part of the support crew or they're just watching because it's kind of cool. And so be aware of those big events because if you, let's say the Baja 1000, you see the route online where it goes, you'll know to avoid those areas on those days because it will get very crowded, very loud, and you may not be able to find a place to camp. Well guys, that's pretty much what I do to prepare for coming down to Mexico each year. And I've been down here, I've kind of lost count. I think it's 7 or 8 times at this point. But again, what I'm hoping with this video is that it's not specific to a certain travel style. This is very general stuff that everyone should be able to use. Whether you're coming down here in a car and tent like I am, a huge Class A motorhome, or somewhere in between. So just be aware that this should work for everyone. And I'm really hoping this just makes it a little bit easier for you guys to make it down here successfully and that you come down here and you have a smile on your face. So with that, what do you guys think? Do you think these are pretty easy steps? Is there anything I forgot? Please let us know in the comments below because, sometimes I just forget stuff, But let us know in the comments below. Give us your thoughts. I would love to have a conversation with you guys about this. In the meantime, please show us some love. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. And until next time, my friends, travel well. Oh, I'm way too low on this one. Too low. All right, testing, testing. Am I squinting too much? All right, final testing. Just want to see if I'm on screen, hand movements.